Want to 10x your growth? Discover how only 3 growth hacks in 10 days can change everything. Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today, we are here with Simran, who is shaking things up when it comes to women empowerment. She runs something called Power Women, okay? And I'm going to let her obviously take the floor a bit more on this one. But what she's doing is creating community at a grassroots level, tapping into challenges that are specific to women and putting them into groups so they can co-coach or peer coach each other and drive other programs like events that continuously support them as they go through their programs. So as we get started, as a reminder, as we do this challenge, it's based on the Growth Thinking Methodology book. For those who want to do what we do here, this is your answer. Welcome aboard, Simran. And by the way, I need to congratulate you. You've been sponsored by the Founders Institute. So congratulations for that. And congratulations for making it to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor. I've been waiting for this to get started. And fabulous. I'm really excited to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It was great to have you on board. So why don't we start by you giving us background to what Power Women is? If you want to tell us a little bit about why it exists, how it's working, some of the things that you've done. I know that you've had some amazing traction so far and for really good reasons. So kick it up. Let's tell our audience what it's all about, what you're working on.
Thank you. So first of all, we are a fellowship holder from the Founders Institute program, which is a Silicon Valley accelerator. And we've just completed that and thankfully got nominated to Nader's program. Power Women is started up as a personal passion, but has been driven, thankfully, by many other senior women based from all across the globe. The reason why we started Nader, just to explain the problem that we are solving, the lives of working women can often be very difficult and very challenging. Yeah. And why is that? Yeah. So there are still too few women at the tables, too few women entrepreneurs. I mean, you know numbers, right? 2% of global funding goes to women. There are interventions in our lives, for example, motherhood, right? Maternity, where we might need support. And we've seen in the pandemic, right, how much more burden goes on working women's life. So all in all, promotion gap, pay equity, there is so much research and unfortunately astounding numbers. And I have myself an 8-year-old daughter. And like many other women, I want to change that, right? So we launched Power Women, started out as a community, and it came from the community what they wanted, right? And the problem that we are solving is that it's difficult and it's lonely. It's hard, unfortunately, being a working woman. And how do we solve that? Yeah, this is what we do. We make it easier and we make it less difficult. Yeah, that is what Power Women does. I will not go into the details of how we do that, or you let me know.
No, I mean, listen, if you touch on a few things, because you use artificial intelligence and you have a very interesting grouping methodology, I think that's really important for people to understand, because it's a huge differentiator between what you do and just like any other community out there, because you aren't any other community out there. You're in a very different ballgame. So I think it's really important just to point out some of those really unique elements about how you actually do this. Of course, not worth going into any secrets, secrets are secrets, but just tell some of the basics, right? Features that are unique to what you do.
Yeah, so for us, of course, since we say it's difficult and lonely, building support systems, is very important. I was fortunately in a call with a group with Miss Indra Nui last week, and half of the call she spoke about the value of building a support system, right? Which is what you need when you get to the top. Yeah, of course, men need that as well, but women unfortunately still need it much more. So what we've done is that we match you to your kind of pre-packaged sisterhood. We build a machine learning model, as you said, which uses clustering techniques to match women into groups of 6 to 7. And this is what we've done with our product market fit as well. So you get your own sisterhood based on your personality, based on your experience, based on your seniority. And these 6 to 7 women then become your core support system and help you get through this problem, make it easier, help you navigate, right? See, one of the things that we strongly believe is that nothing is wrong with us. Yeah. So, of course, you started with empowerment. Now, it's less about empowerment. I think we are all very empowered. Yeah, we are very strong. The issue is not with us. The issue is, unfortunately, with organizations, with household, with, things not having changed woken up to the reality that we are in 21st century. So what we are going away, we are saying, we're not going to train you, we're not going to coach the women. There's nothing wrong with us, right?
I like that.
We are,
yeah.
What we are doing is we are trying to help each other navigate, because unfortunately we'll not be able to change societies or ecosystems so fast. So we are helping each other navigate. How do we, how do I get the seat at the table? How do I, manage things, or how do we manage dual career couples? So these are the kind of conversations that we are having, and we help each other navigate.
I think the philosophy behind that is incredibly powerful. The idea that there's nothing wrong, we just need to navigate in a better way. And I completely agree with the direction you're taking. I've seen so many of these groups are just about empowerment, and it's kind of like depowerment, because they're always trying to empower, and it does the opposite. And I think the philosophy behind the fact that the empowerment is there is just like, how do we optimize this and do it in a better way? And I think support groups are awesome. One thing I've noticed is that men are really crappy at support groups. I think they have a lot to learn from women. Women are really good at reaching out and being open about getting support, tapping into support groups. So it's a very different approach to it than men. And I like what you're doing. I think the idea about the philosophy where you come from, I think needs to stand out way further ahead in your communications, because it's extremely powerful. And I think a lot of people, both men and women, by the way, will resonate with this message, because people are awake and aware of what's happening in the world today. And they're trying to find ways, because they yearn to connect with one another. And we're in a world where it's much easier to connect, but the tools to help us connect and keep together are becoming more complicated, and unfortunately are doing the exact opposite. And Facebook, as you know, has been under attack for, at least a year or more, probably more than that, based on the fact that they've been proven that they actually bring people apart rather than bring them together. So I think it's very, very powerful. That's amazing. So moving forward, as with any community building, and the fact, sorry, have we missed anything else that's really unique about what we do? Because that's powerful, but is there anything else? Maybe I kind of skipped over it and a little too quick.
No, I think just the three things. One is what you touched upon. What we do is building support groups, right? The second is we give access to curated content, which is very much targeted. And it is, again, not training mode, because many of the women are very senior, but it is really reflection, rethinking. So, of course, I'm a big fan of Adam Grant. So we also, follow a lot of thinking that he says. It's all about rethinking, reflection sometimes, and how do we navigate solving things together. And the third thing is we give access to a network. So we do cross-pollinate. We do give access to a strong network so that you can, build your own tables if you don't get a seat.
Excellent. There was also one thing that you mentioned to me earlier as well that I thought was very unique. The idea that you've mapped out the groups based on where people are in their career. So it's part of your AI, I think, as you mentioned. I think that's really important to point out. So it's not just like a group of 6 people based on who comes in first. Obviously, the AI goes to a point where you identify where they are in their career, and you match them, I think, in a relative measure so that they can associate with the people they're with. Is that correct? If I remember part of how it works, right?
Yes, it's absolutely important, because people are, in different phases of their lives.
Yeah.
So of course, it makes more sense that you're matched to somebody with whom, who can help you, and with whom the problems resonate. So that's why we do that.
So that's, I just wanted to pick up on that, because I remember when you told me about that, I found that to be very unique and very well structured as a strategy, because it gets the right people together. So anyways, okay, so moving forward, turning this community into an empire, that's why we're here. Tell me a little bit more about some of the growth challenges that you guys have had over the last little while. So why don't we break it down to the 3 growth challenges you have, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, so first thing I think was for us was to just do the product market fit, which we've done now. And we've interviewed the people, because we've done 9 months of the program. The feedback has been amazing. And so we have a lot of content where people say it's amazing. And now is where we need to look at how we leverage that without, of course, we are bootstrapped, without spending a lot of money in marketing dollars.
Yep. And well, that's why you're growth hacking. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one. Then the second thing, of course, is most of the women that have been in the first batch are very, very senior women. So now we know it works. We want to do a referral program. we've hesitated a bit. Is money an incentive? How do we ask them? And now
Yeah.
we know that they want to refer us. They are very
Yeah.
happy to refer us. They believe in us. So so
Yeah.
that has been kind of,
So yeah,
growing.
let's shift over to the growth hacks, because I think you've done a really good job in the sense of doing some homework and doing some research prior to selecting these growth hacks that we're going to tackle in the next 10 days. So maybe you can give us a bit of the feedback that you got and what those 3 growth hacks will look like. And you already sent me something just right before the call, which is part of the implementation, which is awesome. I love it when people take the initiative prior to the challenge and they're like, man, I'm ready, right? So good on you for that. So yes, tell us what the 3 growth hacks will be in the next 10 days that you plan to tackle.
So the first one is we want to create a brand awareness. The first one is we are working around a campaign which is called Now I See Her. And it is very much around supporting women, women sponsoring other women or men sponsoring women. This would be a LinkedIn campaign. And the idea is very much that we encourage people to sponsor women because the data shows like 46%, men are 46% more likely to have sponsors.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so we've been asking around if you've had a male sponsor, and this is also very heavily discussed topic that women don't sponsor enough, or do we get enough sponsors? So we thought of picking that up and doing a campaign around it, then asking people to tag, say, 5 other women that they see could become, a potential next generation leaders.
Okay.
So that is our first campaign. This would create brand awareness. Of course, it's also good. We are, of course, a business for good, so we keep that in our mind, and it's very much aligned with what we want to do, bring more women to the top.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's hack number 1. Hack number 2?
Hack number 2 is, now that we've done the product market fit, we are looking at doing a nomination, a referral campaign.
Okay.
And we've been, thanks to you, we've been thinking last 2 days very much around how do we do this, very senior women. So luckily we have the relationship. I did ask yesterday and today some of the senior women, what would you like? Would you do it? Would you like something in return? And then we looked up at some of the other campaigns. I think it was Dropbox that gave like 16 gigabyte free or something. So then we took something like that. We say, would you like to have a free coaching or something like that with a very senior coach? So that was something that they found exciting. So we would be doing the second hack would be that.
Okay.
Referral campaign.
And your third hack?
So third hack is still, I would say, not that powerful. We do.
Okay.
So we don't do that many events. We do one event every month, which is but a very stellar event. Like last event was the coach. Before that was the coach of the Indian hockey team right after Olympics. And the team did really well. It was the first time people in India were watching women's hockey instead of watching men's cricket. So,
wow.
He was, and these women were from really, many were from very, had very difficult growing up years and challenge backgrounds. It was very interesting what role he played. And we managed to get him. And, he was so good. He stayed on extra double and he showed us even the strategy document.
Wow.
That he had built. So, the events are very, very good. But unfortunately, we've not been able to communicate or grow or get the audience that we wanted.
Do you have, by the way, do you have the live video feature on your LinkedIn? Are you eligible for that or have it activated yet?
We haven't activated that, the live video.
Okay, yeah. So one thing is we're making it the last hack, which is awesome. So it may give us a little bit of time for you to apply to activate live video on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is probably it's the most vital platform you're tackling. So just for background, obviously we'll dig a little bit more into that, but I think that's awesome. I think what I like about what you're doing in your very first hack is you're using what we call viral loops. Viral loops is when you start to use the energy of other people and it starts to propel way beyond your ability, which is the boundaries of your own reach. So the best example that everybody knows is Hotmail, where Hotmail said, get your free email at the bottom of every signature. And so it started to grow virally. And that's where the word viral and digital marketing and all that came. Then it further evolved in the area of growth hacking, which we'll call viral loops, a single viral, double, and triple viral loops, which is basically tapping into multiple layers by continuing to kind of make that explode a little bit more. Obviously, don't go to a double, triple loop yet. Get the first loop figured out. And then once that goes viral, then you have other ways of doing it. And I think the fact that you've created your own hashtag, I mean, obviously free and easy to do, popularizing it by getting it onto comments, onto feeds, into posts, and any other place in which visibility is there, including groups, having people mention other people using it so that it gets consistently used and gets people interested. I think also the branding behind it is going to have to be crucial so people can link to it. And I just saw what you shared with me earlier. Obviously, we'll talk a bit more about that later on because we're not doing the hacks now. We'll be doing them in the next 10 days. But I think that the work that was done there is excellent in how you've been branding and bringing some of that stuff together. So that's it. Yeah, that sounds exciting. You ready to go?
Yes, very excited. And also, we are very fortunate. We've had a very amazing team join us.
Awesome.
So everybody on board and excited.
Awesome. Yeah, building a growth culture, like we said, building, guys, so those tuning in, like building a growth culture is super crucial. Everybody on your team needs to be thinking, working growth together. It is not exclusively to that of the CEO, the founder. Everyone from top to bottom in a good, healthy organization should be working, thinking, and developing towards growth together. No one should be left behind. Everybody should be moving together in the same direction. And that's the approach that Simran is taking. So hats off to you. I love it when I see that. Keep it going. So as we tune out, Simran, I hope to see some big things, and I expect big things to happen the next 10 days with you. For those who are tuning in, it's just so you don't forget, we're doing this on the growth thinking methodology. If you want to do what we do here on the challenge, this is your tool. Simran, thank you very much. We'll see you for the first hack in 3 days.